going on, everyone? Welcome to the May 5th, 2011 edition of Ask the King. I'm DSP, and lots of questions to get to this time around, so let's get right into it as usual. First of all, before I actually do start answering the questions, I would like to say, just to remind everyone again, this weekend I'm going to be at the Too Many Games video game convention in Oaks, Pennsylvania. That will be Saturday, roughly when we get there. We're hoping to get there by 1 to 2 p.m. Till the end of the day, and then also Sunday we'll be there all day from 10 to 5. We're actually holding a panel from 4 to 5 p.m. in panel room 2 on Saturday. So if you're interested, please, if you're in the area, come by, come see us, hang out with us, check out the panel. It's going to be basically me talking a little bit about what I do, how I turned this hobby into a career that actually financially supports me, and also I'm going to open the floor to Q&A for the very first time. It's going to be open to anything. And what I'm really hoping to get are some unique questions about, what I do on YouTube, the technicalities of YouTube, what I do that I feel is different from other people, that maybe is the reason why I'm more popular than some other people who do what I do, stuff like that. So anyway, Oaks, Pennsylvania, I'll put the link to the website in the description of this video. That's toomanygames.com. Check us out, come see us, and hang out with us this weekend at Oaks, Pennsylvania. But anyway, on to the main event. First question. Hey Phil, if you were to move away from Connecticut, where would you like to move and why? And that's from Ghost Assassin 38. That's a really good question, and until I started doing this, playing video games and making videos for YouTube, and I turned it into my full-time job, I really didn't have an option to move because it's very expensive to move. As you know, the job market right now is horrible, but even previously, let's say around between the years 2000 and 2005, I thought about it, but even then it was hard. It's hard to find a job in an outside state without being in that state, because remember, you have to go interview for the job, you have to get used to the area, you have to make sure you're going to be able to afford everything in that area. It's difficult. So up to right now, until I started doing this as my job, I really didn't have the option of moving. Now I realize, the more that I think about it, as long as I can keep making as much as I'm making right now doing this, I could pretty much move to anywhere in the country and I'd be fine, because you don't need to be in a certain location to play video games and upload videos. You can be anywhere. As long as the internet connection is decent, you can do it. So I've thought about it from time to time, and I've been to the West Coast many times, California in particular. A totally different mentality there than it is from the East Coast. A lot more laid back, a lot less hustle and bustle. It seems like people are less stressed out over there, which is a good thing. But at the same time, they have bad weather, they have natural disasters like earthquakes and stuff like that, smog in LA. I thought about moving to the Midwest, where it's a more arid climate. Definitely it's the humidity here in Connecticut that I absolutely hate, weather-wise. And in the Midwest, you don't have that kind of stuff. But at the same time, in the Midwest, it's also a different mentality as well. So I don't know. I've thought about different places. I would have to really think about it, and I'd have to find a real reason to move to a certain place. Maybe, ultimately, when you think about it, the ideal state would be you live somewhere where there's such low crime, you can leave your doors unlocked, you're friendly with all the people around you, everyone knows you, they know what you do, they respect you, and, but then again, they leave you alone to do what you need to do. So for example, with me doing this unique thing that I do, that, no one would be too uppity about me doing it, and, but also nice weather, maybe no humidity, and also no heavy snow. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration. I'd probably say no matter where I move, it would have to be a drier climate. I really don't like the fact that we get heavy snow here in the winter, and then we get high humidity in the summer. It's a pain in the fucking ass. It's like the worst of both worlds. And if I could find a place that at least has less of that, that's where I would want to go. Okay, enough of the nonsense. Next question. DSP, on the occasion that you play a game that you really dislike to the point that it's actually a painful experience and the viewers do not want you to continue, would you drop it, or would you take the viewers... This guy's contradicting himself, because he's asking me, would I drop the game or would I take the viewer's opinion, but he's saying the viewer's opinion was to not continue. So I'm kind of confused. Would you continue if the viewers want you to? Okay, that's from JC Who Won. The answer to that question is, well, take a look at Conduit 2. Take a look at the game I'm playing right now, Thor. These games are not good. They're not. They're very not. They're not good at all. And So, honestly, you know, are there times when I want to quit a game? Yes. But unless the game is absolutely horrible, or if there's really no chance of me beating a certain part of a game unless I really just try it 7,000 times, I'll probably 99% of the time beat the game. So for example, right now with Thor, am I liking the game? Not really. There's a lot of repetitive stuff in it. There's a couple things that are interesting. I like Thor's abilities, but the graphics aren't too hot. The gameplay itself a lot of it is repetitive, and it's not that great of a game. But I'm going to beat it. I am. I'm going to play it till I beat it. Now, on the flip side of that, a game like Hardcore Uprising, which is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Contra, but really isn't. It really is not as good as any of the real Contra games. The last boss is retardedly fucking hard. He's like nothing in the entire game up to that point. It's ridiculously cheap instant deaths, and they expect you to play the game so much that you level up and buy enough items that you can beat this guy to get double jump, double air dash, and stuff like that. Which John Rambo and I, as we were doing the co-op of that game, we didn't have those abilities. Fuck that. I'm not going to spend endless hours grinding through a shitty game because you made a bad game and you expect me to get abilities to kill the last boss. I mean, I got to the end of the game without having to grind. Now you expect me to grind through your game to fucking beat the last boss. Fuck you. Your game's not worthy, and I'm just not going to do it. Another game would be like Skate 2, and a lot of people said that my Skate 2 playthrough was hilarious because I got so frustrated. Skate 2 has this very steep learning curve. You need to play the hell out of it to learn it. Now, the game is really good, but I don't have endless weeks to play the game. You know what I mean? Skate 2 is the kind of game you buy it and you play it for a month. And you really master the controls, you master everything about the game. I didn't have that option at that time. There were other games I wanted to play. At that time, I wasn't even doing this full time. I was only playing a couple hours a day. So I said, you know what, I'm passing and I'm not going to keep playing Skate 2. So it really depends on the situation. If it's a game that I feel I can beat in a legitimate amount of time, even if it's a bad game, I'll still beat it. If it's a game that I feel is not worth my time, I won't. And that's really what the philosophy that I've used. Regardless, a lot of fans want me to quit games, but I'm like Thor. People are saying stop playing it. No, I'm going to beat it. Sorry, I'm going to beat the game. You know, I'm not a quitter. So I am going to beat Thor. I beat Conduit 2. And yeah, that's just my mentality. Alright, the next question. Hey Phil, by the way, I forgot to start my timer, which is bad news. That means I'm going to assume 10 minutes is already gone. Hey Phil, IGN announced a release date for Minecraft on November 11th. Notch, who's the creator, commented that the official release of the game will not have any difference from the beta. November 11th is around the time of many major releases, like Skyrim, Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, Uncharted 3, etc. Notch believes Minecraft can compete with these major games. My first question is, do you think Minecraft can compete with these major games? And the second question, are you going to reconsider playing Minecraft on its release date? Because in the present you've commented that you won't play it. And this question is from XP Sunny D. So for your first question, do I think that Minecraft can compete with these major games? Absolutely not. Notch has no fucking idea at all about business or marketing. Here's the deal. The reason that people are playing Minecraft is because it is free. It's the same reason that so many people watch my videos. It's the same reason that people on YouTube get millions of views. It's free. When you offer something for free, everyone's going to play it. It's that simple. Or watch it or whatever. You know what I mean? If right now there was an X-Men movie that was released for free over the internet and it was a high-grade thing, everyone would watch it and it would become one of the most popular things ever. But if you make people pay for it, it's a completely different thing. So Notch is basically going to tell people, starting on November 11th, if you like Minecraft, you have to pay for it to buy it. And I'm not adding anything new. So basically, you're just going to pay to continue playing the game you've been playing for over a year now with no improvements. Guess what, Notch? You're a fucking idiot. Most people are not going to pay for a game they've been playing for a year and there's nothing new. Sure, there are people who keep paying for games like World of Warcraft, but take a look at World of Warcraft. Massive amount of content, constantly being updated, multiple expansions, a social aspect to it. There's a reason to pay for that game. There's no reason to pay for Minecraft. Minecraft, sure, on its premise, it's a fun thing. It's a crappy graphics engine, but it's a fun game. You get to build whatever you want. You know, there's all kinds of interesting stuff going on there. But If you pay for it, that's it. I mean, that's the bottom line. And the bottom line is people who've played this fun game for a year and a half for free, most people are not going to pay for it. It's that simple. So this question is very timely. When we're going to try to release that game at the same time as Skyrim, Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, Uncharted 3, people who have not played Minecraft are going to look at this shitty graphics engine and say, what the fuck is this? I'm going to go buy Skyrim, you know? People who have played Minecraft up to that point are going to have to make a decision. Do I want to pay for a game I've now played for a year, year and a half with no improvements whatsoever? Or should I finally move on to something else that's better? Since I'm being forced to pay, should I pay for something with high production values, etc.? Or should I pay for this shitty game that I've played for free for a couple years? I really strongly feel the answer is going to be fuck Minecraft, let's go play something else. So Notch, I say congratulations on your success so far. The problem is you didn't find a way to monetize it. Now you're going to try to find this way to monetize it. It's not going to work. My prediction, Minecraft's going to fade away. It's going to go away. Or Notch is going to have to try to find a new way to take this business model and make it different. Second question was, am I going to play Minecraft on its release day? Absolutely not. Why would I pay for that game? Like, that game, again, it's made to be a free game. That's why people like it. It's a fun game. You fuck around with it for a little bit. That's not a game you pay for. Why would I pay for that? I'd be out of my fucking mind, you know? Okay, next question. Phil, if Machinima offered you a full-time job at some point, maybe to be in charge of all fighting game-related content, would you consider taking it? Doing things like covering every event, fighting game news, doing reviews, conducting interviews with competitive players, etc. What would be reasons you would or wouldn't take it? And then he has a second question. Let me answer the first one. Nope, I wouldn't do it. The reason I wouldn't do it, very simply put, at this point I love what I'm doing. I love playing all different kinds of games, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. I like fighting games, but I don't like them to the point where that's all I'm going to do. And this year I had an opportunity when Marvel 3 came out to decide whether or not I really wanted to play hardcore or if I wanted to do other stuff. And after playing Marvel 3 for a couple weeks, I said, you know what? The game's good, but I just don't want to get hardcore into it. I don't want fighting games to be the only thing I do. There are people in the fighting game community who all they do is play fighting games. And I would be bored out of my fucking mind if all I did was play the same Street Fighter games over and over, or Mortal Kombat, or whatever. I love playing the variety of games that I do. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I think everyone enjoys watching me do it, and that's why I'm so popular. And I'm able to do this as a full-time thing. If I were to be hired as a full-time job to just cover fighting games, sure, I might be able to live off of it, but I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as I'm doing right now. So, no, I wouldn't do it. Honest answer. The second question, would you ever do a weekly or monthly top 10 series, having people submit their best clutches, combos, funny moments, etc., to put on DSP Street Fighter with your added commentary? I think it'd be an interesting new series, maybe something to try after you get a new computer. And both of those questions, by the way, were from Slick. That is an interesting concept. It's not something I've really thought about, but it is somewhere that's potential for it to grow. You know what I mean? DSP Street Fighter. Right now, it's just really match footage and coverage of fighting games, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can't start other stuff, so thanks for the idea. I'll think about it. Next question. It's been confirmed that a completely new Nintendo Wii 2, which probably won't be called the Wii 2, it'll have a new name, will make its appearance at E3 in June. The controller for the Wii 2 will be an all-new and has an HD screen built into it. Nintendo also said that the hardware is even more powerful than current HD consoles and backwards compatible with the Wii. To get people ready for the release of the Wii 2, Rockstar is supposedly already planning to bring Grand Theft Auto 5 to the console. Other gaming companies are following behind Rockstar and making their games ready for this console. My question is, do you think that the new system will make hardcore gamers go buy it, I guess as opposed to the Wii where hardcore gamers kind of skipped it? And also, how will people be able to choose which system to get games on if it's in all three of these systems in HD? And this question is from Troll Drill. Here's my thoughts on the new console. And by the way, he's not the only person to ask that. Several people asked this question. Nintendo, you know, they're very wishy-washy, and it's funny because they were so gung-ho behind the Wii and their motion controls. All of a sudden, it's time to release a new console, and they're completely dropping motion controls. So, let's think about this for a second. Our company completely supports motion controls. This is the wave of the future, but our new console doesn't have it. I think what Nintendo did, they were very smart. They made the Wii, they cashed in, they realized that the Wii was going to be a console for the casual audience. They didn't make it HD because they could keep the costs down that way, and they made a shit ton of money off of it. And now that the money train is finally drying up, because it is, if you look at the sales numbers, the Wii is not selling nearly as much as it was a couple years ago. Actual game sales for the Wii are dramatically down. Nintendo's looking for a way to make more money, and they realize now, okay, so it was a cool gimmick, but now we have to go back to the hardcore gaming audience, which we might have even lost during this time when we were focusing on just making money with the casual gamers. So they're making a new console. It's going to be HD, which is what everyone wants, and it's going to be more for the hardcore gamer. It's probably going to be the Nintendo 64 of this era. And what do I think about it? I guess his first question was, do I think the new system will make hardcore gamers go buy it? As long as there are games to play. So if they make a new HD Mario, if they make a new HD Metroid, if they make a new HD Zelda, if they make these AAA Nintendo console exclusive titles for the new system, yes, hardcore gamers will buy it. Bottom line. Yes, the answer is yes. If they don't, if they focus on bullshit, people aren't going to buy it. It's all about the games. It always has been all about the games. It always will be all about the games. That's what these game companies need to understand. It's not about the gimmicks, the motion controls, the 3D. It's about the games, okay? That's why the 3DS has gone on sale and actually has lower sales numbers than Nintendo forecasted because there's no fucking games for it. There's nothing worth buying for it, okay? Now, the second question was, how will you be able to choose which system to get games on? Nintendo, in the past couple of years, has really become a console where most games aren't on it. It's really just these Wii exclusive titles that end up on the Wii. If you choose between a game on Xbox 360 or the Wii version, you obviously want the Xbox 360 version because you know the Wii is watered down. Now, if this HD console is just as good as current generation consoles, then it might be a little bit more tricky. However, here's the problem. People already have the Xbox 360. People already have the PlayStation 3. These consoles are established and have been out for a very long time. If you try to release a new Nintendo console in HD, chances are the games that will come out for all three consoles, so let's say Call of Duty, because we know there's a Call of Duty game every year. People are going to probably buy it dramatically more for Xbox 360 and PS3 than this new Wii console, because most people already have those consoles. They're already established, they're used to the control scheme. It's that simple. Unless Nintendo finds a way to secure something exclusive for these titles for their new console, I really don't see that these cross-platform games are going to be purchased for this new console. Nintendo is going to have to purely focus on releasing AAA titles for their console that are their console exclusives. That's how they're going to succeed. Now, I do have a couple comments. The first comment about this I want to make is they're saying that there's going to be an HD screen on your controller. Who fucking cares? Nobody. It's another gimmick. No one gives a shit. When you're playing a game, guess what you want to do? You want to look at your fucking TV and play the game. You don't want to have 20 distractions going around. You don't want to have to fucking juggle your hands in the air with motion controls or have fucking things jumping out of your TV with 3D. You just want to play the game. So this screen, it's another gimmick. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. It's not going to sell the console because you have an HD screen on your gamepad. In addition, for someone like me, I can't record that. How do you record a screen on a gamepad? It's impossible. So when I do playthroughs on this new console, no one's ever going to see what's on the gamepad. And there's nothing I can do about that. That's Nintendo's problem. That's Nintendo's bad. They really should realize that that's a stupid idea. The other thing that I find hilarious here is that people are saying the graphics on this console are going to be better than Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Hello? Current TVs can do 1080p, and that's it. What are you going to improve with the graphics? The only thing you could possibly improve is maybe the detail of the textures, maybe the bump mapping. I mean, what could you possibly improve? Look at games like Heavy Rain. That game was almost photorealistic. It looked super realistic. It looked like those characters were real people. What could Nintendo do better than that? Like, it isn't the 90s anymore where, you know, there was such dramatic leaps and bounds in technology that you went from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit to 64-bit to 3D, you know, then to fully scaled 3D models. It's just, the technology is leaps and bounds past that era So I don't know what Nintendo thinks they're going to do with graphics to make them so much better than everyone else's. I mean, I've seen the new engine, the Unreal Engine, was previewed, I believe, in the last episode or issue of Game Informer, and it looks really sweet. I like where it's going, but I looked at it and I was like, that looks like Heavy Rain. It really does. It looks like Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is probably one of the best graphical games ever made. So, prove me wrong, Nintendo, but I don't see how you're going to have better graphics than all the other consoles when the TV technology can't go past what it's at right now. It's at 1080p, and the other consoles already look photorealistic. What else can you possibly do? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong again, but that's just my opinion. Next question. Hey Phil, I've recently seen a lot of other YouTube users do game playthroughs with 30-minute long videos instead of 15-minute limit videos. Would you think about making your videos 30 minutes instead of 15? It would probably be easier for you to not have to reset the camera after every 15-minute session, and better for us to watch a longer part instead of loading up a video every 15 minutes. Although it might be a bad idea if you get compensated for ads and such per video. Alright, and next question is from Pervil. Honest answer, because I'm an honest person. There's two major reasons why I'm not going to make my videos longer. The reason is because, as you know, I do get paid per video view. So why would I make a 30-minute long video when I can make two 15-minute long videos and get twice as much credit? That's a no-brainer, okay? However, understand that I'm really not in this for the money, and you know what I mean? Like, I could make 3 5-minute videos for every 15-minute video and get 3 times as many views as I'm getting right now, but that's not what I'm about, okay? I'm about efficiency and making it easier for you guys. And here's the bottom line. Even though this guy says a lot of people are making 30-minute videos, and that may be the case, in my experience, when I'm doing videos that are longer, it has a lot more potential for problems. So for example, when I'm uploading a 30-minute video, there's a lot more potential for that video to error out on YouTube. There's a lot more potential that it gets stuck in processing. And from what people have told me, longer videos have problems loading on YouTube. For whatever reason, they take a shitload of time to load. And I don't understand that. I don't know why that is, but that seems to be the case, and a lot of people have told me that. So why would I make longer videos that are going to have higher potential for failure and also give people problems with loading when I can make shorter ones that are a lot better? Now, on the flip side of that, like I said, again, sure, I can make 3 5-minute videos, but I also understand it's a hassle for people to keep clicking here, clicking here, clicking here, or only watching 5 minutes and then it ends. So I'm not going to move to that format either by any means. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. There's no reason for me to go to a longer or a shorter format. I think right now I've got the ideal honed in, roughly between like an 8 to 15-minute clip. That seems to be what's working for everyone, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. Last question for this portion of this episode before I run out of time here. Hey DSP, I was wondering if you would ever upgrade to 1080p quality instead of 720p video quality. That's from Tony Parker, 1996. And the answer, honestly, is right now, absolutely not. And the reason is because, I don't know if you know this, I've said this before in Ask the King, but 99% of games only go 720p. Even though the game box says 1080p, those games are upscaling to that, meaning there's really no increase in quality. Most games are generated in a native resolution of 720p, and therefore filming them in 1080p won't make them look any better. What it will do is make the file bigger, take longer to upload, again, have longer potential to error out when I'm uploading to YouTube, have longer potential to get stuck in processing, and take longer for you to load on YouTube because it's a higher quality video. So there's really no reason for me to film in 1080p right now. Now, if all games in the future switch to 1080p, then I could do it. I actually have the ability with my camera to do 1080p, and I did do one playthrough in 1080p. It was StarCraft 2. The reason I did that is because I was using a laptop which could do 1080p, and the game was in true 1080p, and there was a lot of little things going on the screen. As you know, it's a lot of micromanagement of small stuff on the screen. It was very hard to see stuff if you had it at a lower resolution. So if games go that way in the future, I'll record that, but since right now most games are 720p, there's no reason for me to do that. Alright, so that's the end of part 1. I still have a shit ton of questions to get to, so I will be right back with part 2 of Ask the King.